Hi everyone, it's Montana, and today I'm going to be filming a very requested video. I'm going to be describing what CBYX is and then just some of the general application tips that I have. I know that a lot of times these types of videos aren't necessarily the best because then you just think that these are what you have to do to be accepted, but in reality I'm not one of the people who chooses how you get into CBYX. I don't know any secrets or any new information that you can't already find, but I'm just going to share a little bit about how I think I was chosen for this program. And I know that when I was looking into CBYX, I was looking at all these videos and I was super interested to hear what current CBYXers had to say. So to begin, CBYX stands for Congress Bundestag Youth Exchange, and it's basically a cultural exchange program where you go and live in Germany for 10 months and you stay with the host family and you go to German high school, and the purpose is to strengthen the ties between Germany and the US on a citizen or on a youth level. It's paid for by the US State Department. So you get a stipend for the year, and it's a very generous scholarship. But in order to receive that, you have to do a lot, and the application is super long. Like I said, I can't tell you exactly how I am in this position now, but I'm just going to try to give some general advice that at least I was looking for when I was applying. And if I'm looking down, it's because I have a list of all the things that I've written down, so I don't forget. So the first that everyone's going to tell you, there's a lot of general advice that people will tell you for applying to anything. So for college, this could go the same, but start your application early. I know that it's currently October, and so the application has been out for like a month, but the earlier you start, the more time you have to look over what you're going to submit and to look back and make sure that your application as a whole is what you want to be representing yourself. And be honest. So the application is composed of, I think, like 6 essays and then general information about yourself, like birthday, name, etc. And then you have to submit 1 cover photo and your transcripts and then teacher recommendations as well. The essays, I think that that's what I was most concerned about because that bears the most weight when you're just looking at how much you have to do for the application. I'm not actually sure what is the most weight in the decision of who gets in. But with the essays, have other people read your essays and get their advice, but always make sure that if you don't like what they're trying to say or if you don't like the advice that they're giving, always put forth an essay that you feel confident in and that you personally like. So for example, some of my friends made comments like, oh, I don't really like this, but I really liked the theme of my essay, and I ended up just submitting it, even though some of them didn't like it. Also, when I was saying be honest, I mean that when you're writing these topics, don't make it seem like you're trying to be the person that they want you to be. For example, a lot of people try to say like, oh, I really love Germany, I really want CBYX because I love Germany, but in my instance, I wanted to be a part of CBYX because I wanted to learn a new language from the start, and because I wanted to study abroad in general. And so I didn't try to push how much I love Germany from the beginning because honestly, Germany wasn't the one main reason why I really wanted to be a part of CBYX. And so I think that honesty and making sure you're not coming off as fake or superficial is really important for your application. My second tip for your essays is that I wrote all of mine. I copy and pasted every single question and then wrote them in a Google Doc. And it's just so much easier to keep track of what you're trying to say because you can go back into revision history, you can check the word count. I just would highly recommend doing everything on a Google document or even a Word document first with spell check, with grammar check, all of that. And then right before you submit your application, copy and paste each essay into the application. So you're going to have to ask for your transcript and two recommendations from teachers. Make sure those teachers know you well and know what you're applying for. In my case, I asked my English teacher and AP Human Geography teacher, but they were both teachers that knew me very well as a person and knew that I had an interest in international relations and international affairs, and I sent them a letter that said what CBYX was. That way, when they were filling out the recommendation, they knew exactly what I was applying for, because then they can just provide a better explanation of why you'd be a good fit for this program. And for the transcript, make sure that you ask early. At least in my school, I asked and then I had to wait like a week before I could actually get the transcript. So make sure you know how that works in your school. I watched some of the other videos on CBYX tips, and they had said that you have to use all 250 words, or like I made sure to use every single word. But I really just wouldn't stress about that. I'm pretty sure I did not use exactly 250 words for every single essay, and if you have like 240 words, it's okay, as long as you're putting across the point that you want to make in your essay. And make sure that each essay tells something about you that would make you a perfect candidate. Maybe try to diversify what each essay shows about your personality, because then the reader can get to know your overall personality better and why you want to live in Germany and study abroad for a year. Next, with the cover photos, I also watched other videos where they were saying, oh, I hired a professional for my cover photo, it has to be perfect, you have to wear a suit, or you have to look super good. My cover photo was a photo that I had taken on an iPhone when I was in Puerto Rico, and it's just a photo of me smiling. The only advice I would say is don't use like a front-facing camera or a selfie. Don't stress about the photo. The main reason they need a cover photo is probably for organization and just knowing what you look like. I don't think that it's gonna make or break whether you get in based on your cover photo, as long as it's acceptable and professional-ish. I think I can insert a photo here of the one that I used for mine. I'm not gonna read my essays out because, at least for me, when I hear other people's essays, it just makes me want to copy it or makes me stressed, so I don't think that you'll benefit from me reading my own essays. But it's okay if they're not perfect. Like, one of my essays, I wrote about a really like tiny fight that I had with a girl in my school, and so, not fight, like a verbal, we were arguing. But you can honestly write an essay about the smallest task or smallest occurrence, event is the word I was looking for, the smallest event in your life, and even though it might not seem that significant, the essays normally end up even better because you can really reflect on that one particular moment. Another tip or piece of advice is that they can see when your application is submitted and like what time it's submitted, so maybe don't wait till the last minute. I don't think it matters that much. Make sure you know what CBYX is when you're applying, because it'll definitely show in your application if you have researched the program, if you understand what it is, and you're really passionate for studying abroad and for wanting to become a youth ambassador, then just that tone and that overall message will be heavily conveyed in all the rest of your application. If you have any super specific questions about the application or any other information that you want to know about the program, please leave it down below in the comments and I'll respond as soon as I can. I want these videos to be a source of information for other people who want to apply, because this program is really so amazing and I'm so lucky to be here. So thank you so much for watching, and if you have any other questions or concerns, just reach out. Bye!